Everyone knows the most sought after rank is Apex Predator. The flashy red badge and dive trail are always fun to show off to people. And while most people want to get that rank, some people just are unaware of how to do it. They lack in certain areas of the game and just makes the climb tougher for them. So hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8 Second Gaming, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some secrets that I used when I was climbing to Predator and grinding out ranked. And guys, though this video will be talking about a few aspects of Apex, there still are many others to learn. And if you're looking to really get better at Apex, you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there, we have top level courses and guides from amazing coaches that cover a wide variety of topics when it comes to Apex. So no matter what you guys are struggling with, you will be able to find a solution to it. Now, if you're looking to climb to Diamond, Masters, or even Predator, click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, or I'll have to speak to your manager. Okay, but now jumping back into the video, I just want to make this clear. While these tips were used to help me climb to Predator, these are applicable to everyone. So even if you don't have goals of reaching Pred, you just want to hit Masters, Diamond, Platinum, whatever, these will still help you. You don't have to want to reach the highest rank in the game in order to apply these techniques into your game, but if you do, they will help you climb. Got that? Perfect. Okay, so let's start off with tip number 1, and that is taking power angles. In ranked, you always need to start taking spots on the map that open up more positions for you to shoot from. These power angles are ledges, buildings, rocks. There are so many examples of them. These essentially are spots on the map that open up wide angles for you to shoot from that allows you to pressure enemies a lot easier. If you have a wider angle, you won't have to move as much in a fight because moving opens up opportunities for your enemy. But do remember, if you just run onto a spot like a ledge, you're going to get shot more than likely. You still have to remember to position yourself properly. So when you play these ledges, look for something like head glitches. These are spots where only your head is showing that makes it harder for the enemy team to shoot you while you still have full line of sight on them. If you just run up onto a ledge and you're standing there out in the open like I do waiting for the microwave to finish cooking my food at 3 AM, you're going to get lasered and die. Power angles are only power angles when you make them one, so even a god spot can still be ruined by poor positioning. But now, moving on to tip number 2, we need to talk about your ego. Apex players love debating whether or not mouse and keyboard or controller is better, but at a certain rank, no matter what input that they are on, they're going to hit their shots, and you're going to have to learn how to respect that. If you are playing something like pub games, you can typically get away with more things, over peeking, taking fights at a disadvantage, just doing random things, and you could still win a fight. But once you get to a certain rank, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. Reaching higher ranks, players will start to punish you more and more for making mistakes like over peeking or trying to fight while at a disadvantage. These players will kill you if you're cracked or low on health. Most of the time, they aren't going to miss key shots to put you down, so you're going to have to learn to take smarter fights. Say for example, if an enemy team gets a drop on you and dishes out some damage on your shield, it isn't worth trying to fight them back right away. You just need to take cover, let your teammates hold, and you can heal back up to full health. If you try to fight while you're down, you can get punished for it. You're going into a fight with less armor than the enemy team and they already know where you are. They already have line of sight on you. They're going to laser that spot as soon as you pop back up, and if you have low health, you're probably going to die. You need to learn to take 2v1s or learn to take off angles in fights as well. Just anything you can do to always be stacking the odds in your favor. Getting into higher ranks, you're not going to be able to kill teams by yourself with mechanical skill alone. It does help, and mechanical skill can carry you extremely far in the ranks, but as soon as you're split from your team and you're in higher ranks, that enemy team will more than likely isolate you and kill you. And as harsh as it sounds, I don't care how mechanically skilled you are. Even pro players die when they get singled out into a 1v3. Once you get into those higher ranks, teams will not let you get away with certain things. So you always have to be remembering that. But now, moving into tip number 3, this is going to be to stop worrying about things that don't matter. And this may seem like a no-duh type of tip, but what I mean by this is people hyper fixate on these smallest things that don't matter. If they miss one sniper shot, they think that they're trash, or they really care about their KD. If it isn't high and amazing, they think they suck. These things don't matter, and worrying about them will just get inside your head and make you play worse. Trust me, I was in that position too. I thought that I had to be hitting every single shot in the game, and if I wasn't, then I was bad. But going more in depth on that, let's go back to the sniper shot example quickly. If you're missing sniper shots, yes, you may not be dealing damage, but what you are doing is you're showing presence still. You're letting teams know that you already have a spot and that it is taken and they shouldn't push it. But you're also pressuring teams that you're shooting at, so you're forcing them to make decisions faster because they don't want to keep being shot at, so they have to choose something to do, and that may end up getting them killed. If they make a split-second decision because they're getting shot at, they might run into an enemy team and then they fight and then they die and you get more placement points off that. So you can still be doing stuff even if you don't hit shots, so always remember that and stop getting inside your head. And I absolutely hate that I still have to talk about this one, but guys, seriously, no one cares about your KD in Apex. No organization or team is going to sign you because of your KD ratio. And most of the time, certain roles in Apex will have lower KD if they do their job properly. If you're playing someone like Gibraltar, Watson, Lifeline, something like a support role, they aren't supposed to be getting kills. They are helping get people low, but the fraggers on the team are supposed to be cleaning up the kills. So because they're doing their job, they're going to have a lower KD ratio. Does that mean that they're trash? Absolutely not, so stop worrying about it. There are a couple more examples like that, but they're smaller and not really worth dragging on the video. But if you find yourself fixating on something, ask yourself, does it really matter? Will it change the aspect of the game at all? If no, then forget it and move on. Now, this next thing is tougher for some players, but it is extremely important. And tip number 4 is tracking abilities and weapons in fights. Apex can be a pretty fast-paced game and the fights don't last long, but you guys always want to be ending your fights as fast as possible because third parties are annoying. In order to end these quickly, you have to be aware of any small advantage that your team has. That includes enemy teams wasting utility-like abilities. If a Gibraltar domes or a Seer misses his tactical or anything like that, you need to be tracking it, because your team can then use their abilities to punish the enemy while they don't have theirs. I see a lot of lower elo players not take into account enemies using abilities and just not care when they push and then they dive for it. And while tracking abilities is good, you also have to track weapons. You need to know what kind of guns your enemy is using in order to properly fight them. If they say are triple snipers, you know that they won't be as good in close range and you need to get in their face. But if someone's spraying at you with a car or an R99, you know that they only have close range and just keep your distance, fight them from medium or long range and kill them like that. And of course, counting bullets is always a nice touch, but that's something that's super high up. I'm not saying to count someone's R301 shots, but you should be keeping track of something like a Kraber. You should be aware that a Kraber has 12 shots, so each time a bullet is fired, you can be counting them down and know when a player is out. By being able to track both of these things, you'll start to take a lot more fights that are in your favor and be able to win them a lot more often. And now, tip number 5 is stop being afraid of early round storm. Round 1 to 2 ring doesn't really hurt that much, and you can easily heal through with just a medkit and some syringes. But something that low elo players do that really hurts them is they absolutely freak out when it comes to these early zones and they panic. They then take a bad spot trying to get out of ring and they can die for it. But in higher elo, teams will literally just sit in zone and hang out, craft, make a better rotation, whatever they need to do because they know that the zone isn't as bad as some people think. When you start to really understand that and the zone isn't as bad as you think, you can take longer rotations to get better spots, craft up your armor, or do whatever you need to do to set yourself up for finishing the game strong. A good example of this is the first split of Season 12 on Olympus. The number 1 Predator player would always craft in zone. He would be able to get himself geared up and ready, but also the lobby would be dying out while he chilled in zone, so he'd be getting placement points. And if the number 1 Predator does it, you can do it also. And come Season 13, when the R301 is in the crafter, you bet that I will be chilling in zone just to get that. But guys, all of these techniques were used by me to get my Predator rank, and other high rank players do it as well. So if you're able to start doing these types of things in your games, you will be able to climb the ranks just as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did and you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, do not forget to smash that like and subscribe button. We have some bangers coming out for Season 13 that you do not want to miss. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.